Energy US niggas, Ethiopian kings, we bring things. Does her body count matter? Does her body count matter? Yeah. Now, before I get started, I also want to say I'm going to do a contrast to this. I'm going to do a show about does his body count matter? But now I'm going to deal with this one. Does her body count matter? It all depends. That's the best answer. It all depends. It depends on the kind of man that she has. Does she have a strong man? Does she have a weak man? Does she have a spiritual man? Does she have a non-spiritual man? Does she have a religious man? Does she have a non-religious man? Does she have a high-value man, low-value man, medium-value man? There's a lot of factors involved in that. For example, does her body count matter? The answer would be yes. For a priest, might I make a correction? The answer would be yes for a Levitical priest. That answer is kind of sarcastic. The sarcasm in that is, you're not going to find many Levitical priests nowhere. Not one who is. Now, you may find some bloodline descendants of Levitical priests. I say that to say because the Levitical priest, according to the scriptures, was to marry a virgin and the husband of one wife. I believe in the New Testament, a bishop is to be a husband of one wife. The sarcasm and the irony and all of that is, you're not going to find a Levitical priest, not one who has been raised for office in the world today in 2021, nor will you find a virgin. The chances of you finding a virgin is a needle in a haystack, and you'll find a greater chance of finding a virgin than you would a Levitical priest. Being that there is no priests, you have a whole bunch of religious followers and practitioners who should follow after the priests, or that the ways of the priest should be the lifestyle in which they should ascertain, because the priests were the ones who gave them their guidance and their leadership when it came to the discerning and the understanding of the things of God. So, being that there's no priest today, you do have pastors and ministers and mores and imams and different religious leaders in monotheism. Maybe the body count should matter to them, but in a lot of cases it doesn't. But the question is not, does her body count matter to you or to a particular individual? It is, does her body count matter in life? Does her body count matter in reality? And on the flip side of the yes, there's a large majority of non-spiritual men, non-religious men, and godless men men who are misguided spiritually, mentally, intellectually. Men who have been suppressed and oppressed to the point to where they are mentally, physically, and spiritually weak men. No, her body count doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit. To the man who is morally weak, spiritually weak, mentally weak, he could have a sexual encounter with a woman right after the next man pulled himself right on out of there. A large amount of the male population that the body count does not matter. And the reason why I state that is because of the high promiscuity practiced amongst the females in the United States of America. If a man was to be adamant about body count today, then he would never have any sex. If he had large concerns about a body count, then he would never ever have any sexual encounters at all. Because all of the women have body counts. And if you was to have an issue with it, then you would not be able to have any sexual encounters. And in fact, if you was to act like you had issue with that, a woman more than likely would not want anything to do with you. If you ever fixed your mind to prepare your mouth to propel a question about her body count, that relationship is probably not going to go past that question. And if it does, she is going to be dishonest and to lie to you. Now, to the man, to individual men, her body count may not matter. But in reality, it does. Because any woman that have felt compelled to answer that question when it was presented to them about her body count, she felt some kind of way about that question. All of them are. And it's not a good feeling. So they lie to you about the number. See, when you're an alpha male like myself, an Israelite alpha male, a holy one, a righteous one who lives the best way he can according to the laws of Moshe. When you're an alpha male like me, you can ask that question and get not the true answer, but a truthful answer. You got to know how to do it and when to do it if you really wanted to know the answer to that. One thing for certain is you do not do it at the beginning of the relationship. You do not do it during the stage in when you're dating and pursuing her. When I ask the question, it is when we are involved in our most intimate engagements. It's conversating. You know, me and my women have real deep conversations. And in these conversations, I'm giving support. I'm giving guidance. Okay? I'm giving advice. And I'm giving my love. But when I ask the question, you best to believe it is well after I done hit the cuckoo. All right? After we have had a sexual encounter well after, months on down the line, maybe even a year or so. Those are the times in which I ask that question. And it's always at the time when we're involved in our deepest, most emotional conversations. One of the key arts into getting a girl to fall in love with you, which is another conversation, and I'll do another video about that, and podcast and a show about that, is to be attentive to her and to listen to her. When you do that, you do it the right way, you can gain her trust, and she will tell you. Now, when you're an alpha male like myself, and you present that question, you're going to get a truthful answer. And I asked the woman that, and we probably lived together about 4 years, about 3 or 4 years, and maybe somewhere within that second year, as we were having deep, intense, heavy conversation, I asked the question. You know, we may have had a conversation about jealousy or something, or this or that. You know, one of those conversations that would lean this way towards that, you know. And I would let her know, hey, I just slept with a lot of motherfuckers. You know, I let her know right off the bat. I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, I don't give a fuck. Hey, I do. That's what I did. Hey, I'm not with none of them. I ain't trying to go back to none of them. I don't give a fuck. Hey, I did it. That's my past, you know. And she feel comfortable enough to give you an idea. And I asked, you know, how many people have you been with? And girl was shocked. I'm like, oh, this is pretty, the number is pretty high. I say, I mean, like, high, like what? Well, it's up there. I mean, like what? Like 50, like 20, like 100, like 200? She said, well, it's up there. I can respect that because that is a truth-filled answer. And the true reason why she didn't give a number is because most women are so careless out here that they don't even count the number. They don't even care to count. And the reason that she don't know, she understands when confronted with that question because they never think about it. They ride. They call it riding the carousel. Okay? And they ride it like a kid rides the merry-go-round, just happy and jolly. If they are at that park long enough, they're not gonna count how many times they got on that carousel and jumped on different horses and got back off and got in the line. They try to get back in line again to have more fun and more fun. And if they stay there long enough, they will actually begin to lose count of how many times they rode on the carousel and how many times they rode the same horse on the carousel. And if they roll all of the horses on the carousel, and when confronted, because they had so much fun doing it, they lost track and lost count of the reality that the numbers have actually piled up. And when you ask a female that type of question, you make her soul search, at least for a minute, and then she may slam and stop on the brakes and get defensive. That is the usual line of progression. And then after that, she's going to give you a very non-exact, a non-clear answer. And when you asked her that, it gave her some soul searching. And At that moment, when she begins to respond, especially if it's negative, a negative response or a lying response, a truthless response, it is at that point that she faces a sense of embarrassment, this awkward feeling. She begins to feel this uncomfortable awkwardness, which is called embarrassment. And then she will proceed to give you the answer of her choosing. But because of this embarrassment exists because in the reality, her body count does matter. Even to the man who claims that it does not matter, because her body count is taboo. It's the secret, you see? It's a secret that nobody know but her. Now, your experience is between you and her, but she also has an experience between her and him, and her and other guys, her and other guy. And each one have given her the power, and now your reality has become her secret. She may have 10 secrets. She may have 50 secrets. She may have 500 secrets. Your sexual reality has become her secret. And that is because in the reality, her body count matters. It may not matter to you. It may not matter to her, but in the reality of this existence, in the sight of God, basically, in the reality of this existence, her body count does matter. Her body count does not matter. Why is it that she can't say, I probably slept with maybe, I don't know, probably about 163 men, about 163, 165, somewhere around there. I may have lost count between one or two. You know, how come she can't say that? Because in reality, it matters. It may have never ever mattered to her at all, but at that point when she begins to respond, her body count matters to her now. And to make sure that this secret, well, these secrets don't matter to you, she has to lie to you. Wow, that's heavy. Yes, her body count matters. I wish that I could have said it another way, because that's pretty much it all in a nutshell. You know, and you got some guys that date a woman, and I remember a lady that I remember when I was getting married. The young lady that I first married, and I worked with a guy who lived in the neighborhood in which she lived in, and the word had gotten out that I was about to get married soon, and as it got closer to the date, the heat of the moment and the conversation was up in the air, and maybe I may have had to say something to my supervisor about, I'm going to take these days off or something. I'm getting married, so this, that, blah, blah, blah. Somehow it got all out in the air. And one day me and the guy was talking, and I said, the girl I'm finna marry, she knows you. And I said, yeah, such and such and such and such. I called her by name. And he tried to act like he didn't know her, you know what I'm saying? I was like, he didn't say anything. He was trying to think like he had to figure out who I was talking about. And then after I gave her a description and told the block that she stayed on and this, that, and yeah, she used to go with such and such. Oh man, you about to marry her? See that feeling right there. No man wants that feeling. I saw a video where a lady had made the statement, nice looking lady, hoochie mama type, a video vixen type, and she was saying that the only type of man that would fix his mouth to ask that type of question, or any man that is concerned about that, will be the type of man that she's not looking for. A man, because that man is a man who presents himself as one who is insecure in his penis size. Because if he had a big penis, he wouldn't give a damn about how many numbers that she got. The problem with this is,
pardon me there. I had to pause there for a minute because something that I wanted to say that a man penis size, a woman would try to say that when we talk about a body count, right? And a woman tried to gaslight you and to use shaming language on you and try to say shit like, oh, he must got a little dingling. That's the only reason why he worried. Almost like the fear of a person who can't swim drowning in the ocean, right? The problem is that a ocean should never exist in the first goddamn place, right? So what I'm trying to get people to understand is this: a man should be concerned about a woman's body count, where she's been, out of self-decency, if nothing else, for himself. He should want to know where he is putting his body in, and any decent woman would vouch for that. The problem is a lot of these women ain't decent. So let me get back to the program. I have to stop, y'all. I have to stop these programs to critique the programs, So back to the presentation at hand.
Realize that type of statement. It is really not an answer to the question as much so as it is the diversion from the question, and it is also an ad hominem attack. It is a distraction. It is a red herring distraction to distract from her emotion that she felt when she did that soul searching. When you forcefully asked her that question and forced her to do a quick soul searching, she didn't like it, and now she's finna project that feeling that you made her feel onto you for asking her that. And in doing such, she is going to attack the man for asking that type of question. And how she did that was talking about, well, maybe he got a little penis. You know, basically what she's stating is that maybe I've been so ran through that I need a big one. And maybe you ain't got that. So maybe you're insecure. That answer told a lot. Maybe, and it was a truth-filled answer, but it was pejorative. It was meant to hurt. It was intended to hurt. And the question wasn't intended to hurt. The man just may have wanted to know. He may want to know what he's dealing with. One of the main reasons that it matters and that it should matter to any man or woman's body count is that when you apply the scientific method through deep observation and research and experimentation, application, and examining the results. That's the scientific method. When you apply the scientific method, you will find that the more men that a woman have a sexual encounter with, the harder it is for her to parabond. And the easier it becomes for her to invite new people, new men inside of her womb. Which also makes it easy for her to cheat on you and makes her a very untrustful being in the dynamics of a relationship. It doesn't matter whether it's a boyfriend and girlfriend or just even in a casual relationship. When you're having sexual encounters and extending yourself to people, you want to be able to trust this particular type of person. And when you understand that a female has a high body count, it takes a fool to want to be able to put his trust and love to invest any of that inside of an individual in whom he can't trust. One who's quick to give it up to other men, and one who is going to more than likely down the line hurt you by breaking up with you. See, because when a woman breaks up with a man, a lot of times she done broke up with him a long time ago, and she's just playing the game with this guy, stringing him along. You know, this is when you start to see her fall back. This is when you start to see her not want, rationing out the sex with you, because these are signs that she is losing interest in you and gaining interest in somebody else. And once her interest comes to full bloom in someone else, then she just monkey branches on over to that relationship. She ends the relationship with you. And this is the reason why men take the relationship so hard, because she would take a relationship hard. If let you just up to date, any man, let you up to date at any time, break up with a woman. You know what, baby? I can't do this anymore. I'm ready to call it quits, Mom. I think it's time to call it quits. Mom, I just don't think I'm going to be able to do this one. I ain't going to do it. Let you begin to tell a woman these things, especially if you just did it Johnny on the motherfucking spot. She will crack the fuck up. She will crack up. So, she would take that type of information much harder than the pain that she's going to put the man through because she broke up with him. Johnny on the spot. When her heart has left the relationship a long time ago. She has an unfair advantage. That's why she can, your heart broken and you wilding around nowhere and she's off into another relationship a week or two, full-fledged, after you broke up, or later, after she broke up with you. And you can wonder, how can she be so heartless? The heart is gone. It's been gone. It's been 2, 3, 4 months. The heart has been gone. These are the practices that a female exercise when she has a high body count. She loses the ability to be trusted, and she loses the ability to parabond. Now, some man she would trick and seduce to trust her, but if he knew the exact number to the count, he would not trust her. And she knows this, and this is the reason why she lies to every man that will ever ask that question. So, a woman's body count, the higher her body count is, the easier it becomes for her to make connections and disconnections with other men. And the danger in that on her end is that any man that she makes a connection to, she truly never makes cut, slice, split disconnection. You know, these women will go off into the next relationship with the other man and will always be thinking about the men of her past. She will find herself, because this is the computer age, she will find herself going to look on men of her past, Instagram and Facebook pages, you know, to find photos, to see what they looking like now and see how they doing and see if they progression or not, and to see if she made the right decision when she called herself picking the better man. She's never really sure, because there was something about you that she liked. She's afraid that whatever that was in you that she liked have actually manifested and began to bloom. Women break up with men, they never ever close the door. When I break up with a woman, I close the door, I lock it, deadbolt it, throw the bar on it, the chain as well. You know, and I'm looking for some gates to throw up. The gated door. The door is shut. Women don't like to shut the door. They never shut the door completely. That's because they always want to be able to look in through the other side, you know, to see what's going on in that man's world. Just in case one day she might want to just ease like a little rat right on over into the other side real quick and then come back. Or just ease on over there and try to stay over there. Especially if things is cracking over there. And being that if she had 20 partners, 50 partners, 70 partners, 100, 160, 300 partners, as she progressed up to the present number, it became easier for her to put men in these awkward positions, to break up with them. For that's 10 failed relationships, 20 failed relationships, 50 failed relationships, 100 failed relationships. The older she is, the older she gets, she has not found marriage. You should look at her very, very bad for that. You're 40 years old and you never got married. You're 50 years old and never been married. You're 30 years old and you're not married. That should be looking at as a bad thing, because you're looking at 10, 15, 20, 30 years of riding the cock carousel. The older she is, the less to prove that she's been in long, faithful relationships. The less interested a man should be in investing his money, his time, his love, and his energy in such type of bad investment. It is a bad investment because it is an investment that is likely to fall on the stock market. It is an investment that has depleted in value when you decide to invest in it. And it's further depleting as the days go by. Yes, her body count matters. This is why her body count matters. From the very first man that sexually copulates with her, that sexually penetrates her, that sexually inseminates her, he set the model for every man that she chooses. These women are not being raped. These women choose the men who enter inside of them. You understood Briffle's law? Briffle's law stated that it is the woman who is responsible for the relationship. It is she the one who has the power in the relationship. When a man go holler at a woman, it is the power of the woman, and it's based upon her acceptance of him or her rejection of him. Briffle's law states that if a man presents no benefit to a woman, no such relationship can exist. And this is something that is not only expressed in human beings, but all throughout the animal kingdom. And the human being is the highest up in the hierarchy of the animal kingdom, because the animal, the word animal, the root word is anima, which means live. Man is highest up in the hierarchy of the living, moving, breathing beings on this planet. So you got the first man who done set the mold. Every man that goes up in there, he is like it's like the potter to the clay. The man is the potter and the woman is the clay. Wherever that hand moves on that pot and how it moves, the skill of his movement shapes the pot. The potter shapes the pot. The man is the potter and the woman is the clay. And together, the hand and the clay forms the pot, the union. You see? But it is the hand that molds the clay. And every man that goes molds that woman a particular way. And she remembers every one of those moldings. She will always compare you to every man that she has been with. That's how she knows if you the prize to her or not. You don't think she know when you have sex with her where your sex rank at in her experiences, you dumb fool? And you don't think she rank you amongst those many multiple experiences, you dumb fool? She does. God forbid, my brother, you may not have been the best one. You may not have been the chief with the big dick or the biggest dick. I'm sorry. Your sex may not have been the greatest. And you will be compared to that. God forbid that she goes forward in a relationship with you knowing that you was not the best she ever had, brother. Seducing you, making you feel as good as if though that you was. Have you walking around in deceit, in the dark cloud, and foolishness of love. It take a fool to learn. Love don't love nobody. Yeah. You walking around in the foolishness of love, and she's really not where you at. You married this woman, live with her. She's in your house, eating your food, wearing the clothes that you provided, laying in your bed, thinking about another man. Worse, talking to and communicating with another man. And when this happens, it's a great chance, especially if this woman is in a relationship. You dig what I'm saying? It's a great chance that if she is like unhappy in this relationship, it's a great chance that out of comparing you with those men of the past, it is a great chance that she is communicating with one of the men, if not several of the men of her past, my friend. She could have been so run through that she learned how to disconnect herself from the men of her past. And now she's going to be talking to the guy at work, a new guy. That's when when you find her cheating with a new guy, that is a woman of an exceptionally high body count. One who has practiced the connection, disconnection, the connection, disconnection, the connection, disconnection, so much to where she have learned how to a perfection, how to disconnect emotionally whatsoever. Most women are emotionally connected to the man that is going up inside of them. Don't ever let no woman fool you. And it has to be a woman of an exceptionally high body count that can disconnect from the man who is having sex with her. And because of the practice of the connect, disconnect, the connect, disconnect, the connect, disconnect, she can easily go and connect with men. She can easily go sleep with other men. She can easily pull them panties down. She can easily lift that dress up. You dig? Because of the practice of so many connections, she can easily connect with these guys. And likewise, she can easily disconnect. And she could practice this so much to where she can have a complete disconnection from men whom she's been with. You tell me that a woman body count don't matter? You are not in reality. Because the reality of it is that no, her body count don't matter to most men. At least they portray this lie. They have to portray this lie because if they don't, then they won't have sex. The sex just can't take place. The chemistry involved to make it happen just can't happen. So people have to live this lie that it doesn't matter when in reality it does. The truth of the matter is, don't no man want to be in love with a woman. Imagine you and your wife at the mall, you and your girlfriend at the mall, and there's this guy y'all have. He happens to be looking at y'all. You know that look. Well, you have to be like, do you know him from somewhere? You look over there and get that little nod. Yeah, I get that look. What man is comfortable with that feeling? When you say you are my girlfriend, when you say you are my woman, when you say you are my wife, that my part, see, you want to be the woman, the wife, but the mine, that part expressed ownership. You understand? And the minute a man is confronted, especially in person, with another man who has been with his woman, the very fabric of the idea of ownership is challenged. Any woman who has been taught game in the gynocracy and understands some of the lessons of the whole code. One of the whole code's messages, there's laws and rules that's passed down. The game that is passed down to these women, to other women, that if you want to get back at a man, go get another one real fast and real quick. Because they know that when a man is confronted with his woman being with another man, the whole idea, whether it's in his mind or in reality, the whole idea of his ownership is challenged. And then you have this woman that will play this type of game with you like you're insecure. You're insecure. But how can I be secure that what is said to be mine is really mine when in reality it never was mine and never could be mine? How in the hell can I be secure with that? It's an oxymoron. The body count matters. A woman compares you to every man that she's been with. I'll tell y'all a little story about it. I know a female that I talk to, and she always tells me about how every guy that her sister gets, he abuses her. Every guy she gets always beats her and this, that, and the third. And she don't understand why every man that she gets with does these things. You know, women would like to try to portray the idea that these men are just bad fucking men. You know, he beats on women, they're bad men. They're bad men. But if you have a series and a history or a body count, all of those that are in your body count are men and abusive men, then the problem really is not these men, it is the woman, because she is the magnet for these particular type of men. And understand in Brooklyn law that a relationship can't exist unless she says yes or no. Then she attracts and invites. She accepts and attracts these type of men into her being, into her life, and into her womb. Why does this type of woman keep attracting this same type of man? It is because this type of woman, the very first man who took her virginity, has set the mold. He beat her, he abused her. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all she likes. She's looking for that first man, and every man, he has to have that quality. Now, let's say if the very first man that a woman slept with, if this man just happened to have an exceptionally huge penis, you know, I'm going to give a number, 12, 13 inches. And she liked that man, she been with her for a long time. The reality of the matter is that ain't no 6-inch, 7-inch, or 8-inch man ever going to make this woman happy. Why? Because her sexual past, that first man set the mold. So in her experiences of, you know, having sexual encounters with men, she's going to learn that if this man is not at least this big, I can't have him. Which means that she has to experience many men. She has to see many men at least pull down their pants before she can really say, okay, yes, this is a no. This is a yes, this is a no. She has to have many experiences. This is some of the reasons why her body count mattered. Because the very first man to have had sex with her sets the mold. If she met a guy, pretty well-to-do guy, doing well, let's say he's a rich guy, a guy that was pretty wealthy, the first guy spoiled her, you know, bought her everything. I'm talking about spoiled her. No broke man is going to really make this woman happy, because the first man sets the mold. So you are in comparison to every man that she's ever been with. Not only are you in comparison with them, you are in competition with them. The irony here is that because you have her now, you are the best man. That's what the irony in all of this is at, because that is the biggest fallacy in logic. You are the most available. You are the best of the options that she has at the present. You're not the best she ever had. I remember I was confronted like that. I dated a chick at work, you know, and it was nothing but sex. You know, at first, you know, really, that's all it really was, you know, just sex, you know. And but we was closely knit, having sex. You know, kind of like boyfriend and girlfriend, but not quite. You know, just real hung together. Just have a lot of sex. We enjoy being together. You know, and just when we wasn't having sex, we enjoyed being together. We became kind of like friends and shit. You know, but when the sex stopped, the whole encounter stopped. Uh, after, it becomes obvious that you and this girl here got something going on. There was a guy who happened to let me know, yeah, man, I heard your girl something good dick. Your girl's a real dick sucker or something like that. I'm like, wow, really? I said, damn. I tell you what, I don't know about, I heard she sucked my boy. I said, man, I don't know nothing about who she can suck. I have no idea how many she sucked, but I said, all I know is it's my turn now. She's so sucked. I said, I'm mad. See, I know how to handle that. I'm not one who is insecure with that. But at the same time, even in my security, don't no man like to be confronted like that. Don't no man like being put in the awkward position of having to be confronted with his dominance and his ownership being challenged. It's a challenge to a man's manhood. What is a man dominating? A man dominates that which is his property, things he owns, things he loves, territorial. He marks all of this to himself. That's why he dominates. He don't dominate just to want to be the king of the world. He wants to dominate that which is his. Having what's yours is a vital part of manhood. And a woman's body count is a great, 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 great threat and enemy to a man's manhood. Yes, a woman's body count matters. That being stated, this will conclude today's episode of the Terry Whitfield Yashab in This Real podcast show. I told y'all this was going to be a good one. Y'all going to learn something today, baby. I'm out of here. Y'all stay tuned for the next one. This will be on all of them. This will also be on YouTube. I'd like for you to like, share, and to subscribe. And if any of my videos have blessed you, you can also donate. I'd appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next fiery episode called Does His Body Count Matter? Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Yeah, you thought this one going to stir some souls. The next one is going to stir some souls. Hey, y'all, I'm out of here. I love y'all. Do understand that all of my podcasts are geared to give us knowledge that they don't want us to know, so we can perpetuate a better world. That being stated, I am Yashab in Israel signing out. Shalom, shalom.
Yeah. Yes. Does her body count matter? Does it? I started off asking you the question. The question was conditional because it matters to some men. Her body count matters to some men, and it don't to much, much, much more. That's the answer to the question. And today is the sequel to that video about does his body count matter? The same thing. The answer is conditional. For the vast majority, just like it was to the women, no. But to the few women, it does. Because if a man was sticking dick and booty, right, and caught that thriller, oh, you just can't act like that don't matter. All these tough boys that you like, that our sisters like, love, the gangsters, the hyper masculine bum ass and bitch ass niggas, just really, 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 really not hard to the core gangsters. I'm just trying to tell you, to her, don't nothing matter. To low life people, the body count don't matter. I'm gonna tell you why her body count matter and his body count matter. It matters how many times you done stuck your dick in the hole, or how many times your pussy have caught the throb by the rod. Everybody that enters you, or everybody that you protrudes and you can't conquer, that you didn't marry, that you couldn't produce mass families by, was a failed relationship. Now, we all can fuck everybody loosely. You can just wild out and just have a all outdoor orgy. Just fuck everybody. Just, we don't care. You know, everybody get in line. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just everybody, just in the heat of passion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody. That's what we can all do. Openly. You won't do that because you're ashamed of that. That's why the body count matters. But I want y'all to check out my man Black Ram. And we're going to use his video for critiquing, educational, and entertainment purposes as well. Allow me to share my screen. If y'all hold up. If y'all thought that what I had to say is going to really, really ruffle your feathers, if y'all thought what Kevin Samuels had to say is going to ruffle your feathers, this is a young man that I have encountered that have changed my life. A young man, a man younger than I. Yes, young men can teach older men. Yes, they can. And it doesn't take away from the older man's masculinity. Because we're all learning, right? And it's just another pebble under the notch of the old man. Not a taking away. This is what white America have taught y'all. Now, this young man right here, he's going to tell you why the body count matters. Okay? This man, Black Round 313, is going to why. I asked you, does it matter? It was a yes or no question. And this video will be used again, I disclose, for the purpose of education, entertainment, and critiquing purposes. Now, Black Ram is going, I told you, I asked the question, I proposed the question, does it matter? And the answer have yet in video form, outside of myself, to be answered. Other than Black Ram 313. Black Ram 313 is going to show you why it mattered. Black Ram 313, let's get it, my big little brother. Oh, y'all better embrace y'all.
Roller coaster. Really back at it. Why? It's because this is therapeutic, man. Back again with another video, hence another therapy session. Today's topic is why her body count matters. Now, this video is one in which we've heard talked about many times and from many different content creators, including myself. But new subs don't really listen to old videos. And
Right.
for returning listeners, sometimes it's a good idea to go back over the fundamentals of the game. This video was also requested recently. So I'll be going over some of this foundational information here. Jumping right into it. Now, a somewhat recent biological discovery has shown the long-term effects of carousel riding, the long-term effects of her promiscuity. The study is called microchimerism. It's the idea or the fact, the scientific fact, that a female absorbs and retains the DNA of every man that she has ever been with. This DNA will remain with her throughout her lifetime and is even present in her body long after death. As a matter of fact, the DNA of her former lovers can be found in her spine, brain, bloodstream, and organs. Literally, the Y chromosomes of the men she's dealt with are floating around inside of her. Not just one.
Uh-oh. Stinky bitch. Douche. Douchebag. Oh, you don't know that. Dummy. Teligony. Teligony. Yes. Wow. Blood brain. It does. I seen it. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. Y'all didn't hear that? Oh, oh, oh. Y'all better recognize. Oh, y'all better listen to China White. Man, you saying so much. To her, it is. Y'all better
on Shopify. Long delivery.
nope. Get your ass off here. There you go.
Activated with various partners, the chemical process may possibly become weaker, and it takes more to stimulate its production. Thus, more variety of partners may be necessary to get these feelings caused by oxytocin that quickly wears off once she becomes used to one guy. The bonding chemical weakens. This is probably why she says she's constantly looking for the spark, the butterflies, an emotional high and jolt that produces dopamine and oxytocin when she meets and starts dealing with the new guy. She is chasing the high. There must always be for her a new guy and the next guy. She's an emotional junkie, which leads us to the next category of emotion. Now, emotionally, the high body count can lead to emotional confusion and to the stunted growth of emotional maturity. Her going from man to man just because it feels good emotionally is
Her,
emotionally immature and
not the world.
counterproductive. Life is not about good feelings on the constant, looking for the spark, searching for good feelings, excitement, always chasing the euphoric feeling of the newness relationship.
You just said
It's
much.
addictive to the female. She loves experiencing emotional bonds. And the more emotional bonds that she has had previously, the less likely she is to have such in subsequent relationships, which overall produces an inability to pair bond. Her emotions become exhausted, fried, and finished due to overuse. She can't possibly love any man afterwards because her mind, body, and soul has been altered, changed, and disturbed by the multitude of men that she has been with. Her
Whoa!
soul is empty and nothing remaining except her selfishness. This is when you see the bill. She can't love over and over again. It's an emotion that cannot have a sense of deep emotional attachment. She can only love about 2 men in her lifetime. From 3 may be possible, but highly unlikely. And after 2, true love for her is impossible. And after 2 loves or former loves in her life, she no longer dates or is seeking love anymore. She dates strictly for money, convenience, and a cure for her loneliness after the age of about talking about sugar. You were not her first choice. You are here with her instead of him. Her true desire is always for that in which she cannot have, for he in whom she can't have. Think about it. The realm of her emotions is a chaotic and dangerous place full of mass confusion, a hurricane of feelings that is destructive. The more partners she has had, the more emotional instability that she will display. Her emotional displays and outbursts are not only uncomfortable and inconvenient for you, just to say the least, but also the eruption of such emotions, body count, fee fail. And what I mean by high body count, any one of them with over 4 From my observation, after the fifth guy that she has dealt with, she is used up in most cases and is beyond repair and redemption. Her ability to pair bond after number 5 is slim and none in most cases. After the fifth guy, her mentality is no different than the street walking strumpet. However, she will constantly seek this emotional high. She will constantly seek to be in love. She will constantly seek the newness or the feeling of newness of a relationship. This is why she is so picky, flaky, and always changing in her feelings toward you. This is why she is always dating someone new and so quick to replace you. Now moving along to the spiritual impact of count. The spiritual impact of dealing with the modern day female. The 6 and 16 paraphrase saying, do you not see that he who is joined to a loose woman is one body with her? For God has said, the two of them shall become one flesh. Now, could this possibly mean that a female who's defiled with the DNA of multiple men, the seed of many, is unclean continually? Think about it. Every man she has been with is still in her and always will be. Men are competitive, so within her is a constant war. One minute she's like James, then Sean, then Tim, Mike, Kenny, Rob, Derek, Tyrone, David, Jerome, and so on. She carries their spirit, their energy, their frequency, their vibration. In essence, she has the spirit of all of those men. By nature, she is a receiver of such energies, spiritually as well by design. She's created to be a reflection of one man, but the modern female is a reflection of many men. She is an antenna, a receiver, a vessel, a container. She is the storehouse for male energy, like soil is for seed. She's a carrier of his vibration, which is the energy and soul of a man, which is transferred from him to her during intimacy. And this energy stays with her forever. The first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can only be transformed. Energy can only be transferred or changed from one to another, from one form to another. The energy, the spirit of many men stays with her forever. Now, again, as I said, males are competitive. Those living cells in her from her dealings with guy after guy still remains, which is why microchimerism reveals, and its revelation is so compelling. Those different cells are competing on a biological level and maybe even on an emotional, spiritual, and mental level as well. You have male seed that are there just to compete with other male seed. A war inside of her mind,
Wow.
body, and soul. It also stands to reason that since part of the spirits of men that she has been with will always remain with her, that these spirits themselves are at war with each other inside of her. And just like the influence mentally from different guys are at war, just like her emotions from different guys are at war, she's at war within herself on every front of her existence. Again, the physical, mental, emotional, and the spiritual. This is why the creature is so chaotic This chaos is in her DNA. So-called soul ties that many speak about. Is this why she is often in a constant state of confusion? Is this why her decision-making process is skewed, with her often making the worst? She often lacks reason and logic. The reason why her life is tumultuous. Show me a promiscuous female, and I'll show you a female whose life is a mess. She has a spiritual disease. She is a demon possessed. The spirit, physical body, and the mental state of experiences have shaped her into who she is now. She will always best because the past will always meet her present is to cheat. Why? It's because intimacy is nothing special. It's become trivial. Nothing serious to her because she's done it so much. Her mentality becomes equal to that of a professional streetwalker, because she is no. And as the streetwalker is as cold as the mean streets that she walks on, so it is with your woman. For there is no difference between her and them. Now, I talk about this in depth on my Patreon video called The Most Dangerous Type of Woman in the World. The more partners that she has had, the more likely she is to divorce. It's found that women getting married today have more intimate experience prior to marriage than their counterparts had in previous decades. For example, 21% of women were likely to marry as virgins in the 1970s, compared with just 5% in the last decade. The highest 5-year divorce rate in the research is 33% during the 2000s, was associated with women having more than 10 intimate partners previously. And perhaps that's not unexpected. But Wolfinger points out that the bigger surprise is that prior to recent years, women who had only 2 partners prior to marriage actually had the highest rate of divorce. End quote. From an article written in the magazine Psychology Today. Number 3, the more partners that she has had, the more discontent she is in a marriage. Here's an article written by the Institute of Family Story between premarital intimate partners and marital quality. Psychologist Galina K. prior to marriage reduced marital quality for women, but not men, even after they have had multiple partners in their past, but the female cannot, according to that study. It's so high, 52% globally by some estimates, and 80% of the time it is she who leaves because she is just not happy, huh? Haven't we heard that many times before? But the reason why is because she cannot bond, she cannot pair bond to any man for a lifetime because she's had so many in the past. Again, her past always meets and becomes her present. But yet, and still, many try to make a thought into a housewife. But so far, no man has successfully been able to do this. So, in brief summary, her body count means that she cannot pair bond. Her body count means that it is impossible to satisfy her intimately. Her high body count means that it is impossible to satisfy her emotionally. Her high body count means she will compare you with her exes, all of them. Her high body count means that she will always be attached to her exes. Her high body count means that she has a loose grip in the vag. Her high body count means that she cannot love you, that the vag is dirty and smelly. The high body count means that she is mentally unstable, spiritually and self-corrupted. Her high body count means that she thinks like and tries to mimic the actions of the men that she has been with previously. Her high body count means that you have to compete with those the men in her past. Her high body count means that you are not her first choice, second, or third. Her high body count means that she is harboring bitterness and resentment. It means that she is permanently emotionally unavailable. Her high body count means that she's cold-hearted and more likely to cheat and more likely to leave you. Her high body count is the reason why the majority of relationships fail. It is the reason why she can say that she loves you today and leave you tomorrow. You just started dating a female above 25 or 30, then you are dealing with someone who has, for the past 10, 15, or 20 or so years, and whom has a 100% failure rate in all of her relationships. And it's even more if she's 40 or 50. Think about it. So we know of not only of the personal implications of her promiscuity, but we also know of the social impact of such. I won't go into that here, but it is clear and evident that the succubi single mama thoughtism is responsible for the conditions that we see in the urban community today and that we have seen for the past 50 years. Now, why would you invest your time, effort, and energy into such a creature? Females with high body counts should not be wives. It's much too dangerous, and you are much too valuable to take your life and use it to repair her self-bad decision making. Now, in closing and in conclusion, we realize and the spirit of other men. This is your wife, though, right? What do you think the implications are for a succubus or more plus on out of having a long-term the thought, the succubus the rotten Chiquita banana, or the rabied snow bunny? What is the likelihood that the a demon that you call wifey will be content enough to stay and help raise your children in a two-parent home? Do you trust the modern female to be faithful and committed to you for a lifetime? Life, and one life only. So determine if it is worth spending that time to wife up and please these thoughts out here. Because there is no more wives out here, and there is not much more time left here. We are at the end of the age. We are at the last days, and the succubus.
Wow, wow, wow. This have become greater than I thought. I'm going to tell you all, my listening audience, why I believe in Yahweh Elohim. Okay? Now, in my collection of me collecting my data, my videos, I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, I wish I could have Queen Virtue's videos, and God forbid she's here right with us right now. How are you, Queen?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am blessed.
Nice to
Beyond
meet you.
belief. Yes, I'm glad to have you here. I just felt the need today to go over this type of content. When I first started my YouTube page, I was strictly dealing with Israelites, the issue going on in the Israelite world, just exclusively, and not just the Black community at large. But it's the same. But that issue, being that we are the same, happens to be the issue one and the same at large. And people refuse to see me as a man of God. They refuse to see me as a man of truth. They want to see me as a woman hater, male chauvinist. What's that other nasty word that they use?
Misogynist.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. Misogynist. That's the one. And it's not that. It's not that. And you are one of the few females that came and got my back.
Yes, sir.
And I want to tell you personally, Lord knows it is a blessing for me to have you here on my podcast today. For that.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome. No problem. I actually did a video, I think last year, called Body Count Matters. And it got a pretty good amount of views and comments on it. And I agree with everything the brother was saying in the video.
Wow. Hey, do you have the video? We can play it. You can share it with us.
It's on my other channel. I would have to drop the link for you later on, or maybe, somehow.
Okay.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. My Facebook name is Terry Whitfield because I had to use an alias because my real name, Yasha Ben Israel, because of my associations in the streets and in the Israelite world and in the music world, it's just too overwhelming for Facebook. So they just took my page down. They want to make me out to be a fraud, a liar. I tell these people, man, Thomas Whitfield's my uncle, man. The Cheddar Boys was my nephew. Fotu Doug is my little nephew. You know what I'm saying? And I inspired all of that. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell these people that all your great gangsters that from Detroit, man, I knew every one of them. All these guys, your white boy Ricks, your Maserati Ricks, your Demetrius Holloways, man, I knew all of these people. Your Currys, I'm talking about your big Ed Hansers. I knew all of these people, and all of that stuff was on my page, and they took it down. But that's because I was telling too much truth.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Yeah, they do that. They seem like they target Black men a lot on Facebook.
Yeah, and one thing
Mhm.
that you said that was great inspiration and very truthful, and it opened my eyes up. Why is the pages that is pushing out the most? We talking about the most truth is not the ones that are being most supported. My page is being watched by people who that are larger than these numbers suggest.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yet and still, Facebook, YouTube bans me. Facebook, YouTube. I'll wake up and have 200 views on my videos, and then I'll come back later on, and it's like 76 views.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, ask Eric Trueheart, ask the Zodoc research team. I mean, my channel is like shadow banned like beyond belief. And what you said was just so true about how the small channels are not being supported, and they're supporting
Mhm.
the big channels with the foolishness. I mean, the type of information, if we can just take this red pill, how
Mhm.
much better will it be for us as a black people, as a community, as a block, right, as a city, as a
Mhm.
nation, and subsequently the world.
Mhm. Right, true. And a lot of the things that the red pill community is saying is biblical. I don't know if they know it's biblical, but a lot of it is biblical.
It's very biblical
Mhm.
because morals stand to play. And
Mhm.
morals, what makes morals so rich and valuable is that these are not just principles; these are established principles,
Right.
meaning that it has to have an establishment. And in today, the only thing that can really establish religion today concretely is religion, and they have infiltrated that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Religion, they have even infiltrated that. Even the sad part about it, the black Israelite,
Mhm.
the black Jewish, the black
Mhm.
Hebrew religion has been
Mhm.
infiltrated, and it leads our people to a place of no refuge without people like me and you. And I'm just telling you, you coming on my panel is just as great as Dana Marnici.
Oh.
Next, we need to get. I swear, next. We need to get Shahrazad Ali over here.
Yes. I
and,
love
and
her.
and by you joining me, I think that we can do it.
You think so?
I'm going to join Yasha Ben Israel and help him out, and I'll help you out on your channel as well.
Oh.
Join me on Facebook at Terry Whitfield, and anybody else.
Mhm.
Y'all heard my story why I use Terry Whitfield. That's my nickname since a little kid. Go to Terry Whitfield page and many Yasha Ben Israel pages. I have those too. Any one of those, you'll see my faces or images or whatnot. I think I may have one or two that don't have a face on it at all, but all of them is connected to me. If y'all want
Okay,
to
cool.
get in contact with me, and that's YouTube, but for the listening audience as well. I'm going to get back into some of these videos. I am so glad to have you here. I just felt like, man, I just wrestled with the angel. I feel like Jacob. I feel like I just wrestled with the angel. Because it's a struggle, and I
Mhm.
mean, here it is. We're looking at it right now live, and I've had lives where there was like 100 people in it, and 2 people, and 5 and 20, and nobody's in it, and the only
Mhm.
person that was in the live is Queen Virtue. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I mean, that means so much to me. That's the support. I mean, it's the reason why I do what I do.
Well, I love your channel because I think I found your channel about 2 years ago through someone else, and I came to your channel and I binged watched a lot of your videos. I was watching all of them, reading the comments and commenting on a few of them. And I just always liked your channel, so I
So
always try to come
so
through.
tell me what sparked you more, the more of the like biblical, or all of it's biblical, right? Oh, so let
Right.
me let me better say this. What sparked you more of the historical stuff, the straight like biblical researching stuff, the linguistic, the historical, the quote unquote red pill. What part sparked you to hit you the best?
I think it was more of the red pill stuff,
Wow.
the ones pertaining to women and how the modern woman is pretty much. It was
Yeah.
mostly this.
I had to stop doing those because I would have, you would not see me today on if I'd have kept doing it.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, I started out doing the Israelite stuff, and they were on me then. Then when I went right there dealing with what they call red pill, I call it just dealing with relationships and how humans should interact with each other righteously and wrongly. That's what I talk about. Uh,
Right.
you know, but I guess they lump us and put us in the red pill category or the alpha male category or this, that, or whatever. This is God body information to me. You
Hmm.
know, I don't know. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed that I'm just, cause I would, you popping up over here is like a spooky ghost. It's just like the ghost popping up out of nowhere.
Well, what I liked about your videos that when I first found your channel is that you were talking red pill, but you were still tying it into scripture. And so that's what I loved about it, because you were showing that these were scriptural ideas. It wasn't just, something worldly or whatever.
So
And
it wasn't none of the debates with the HOK and all of those guys over there. It was none of that that caught you first. It was that stuff.
yes. Hmm.
Wow. Wow. It makes me feel good about this program that I'm doing today. I'm going to keep.
Hmm.
I got about 2 or 3 more videos. If you could find a way to send the video in somehow, so I can put it on
Okay.
there. I'm doing like a small marathon, and I don't really want to get off into that too much,
Hmm.
because YouTube and Facebook are real. I want to blow up big before I can get off into that, because
Right.
they'll just cut me completely off.
Hmm.
Trust me, they'll cut me completely off. That's one of the problems. Once I started doing the Israelite stuff, I mean, I was targeted from that alone, on social media, and it was hard for me. Once I got to start talking about this type of stuff, use a misogynist, I mean, it's so to the point to where even my Terry Whitfield page, I have to go to other pages to share my videos, because if I can share like 300 videos my other Facebook pages, but if I share 10 videos on my Terry Whitfield, now I'm in jail for Facebook jail for spamming. That's
Wow.
targeting,
Hmm.
and all of that comes from just those few videos that I did with the red pill stuff on my. But I did much more on Facebook.
Hmm.
YouTube just got the spillover of a lot of that stuff because I wasn't computer savvy at that time,
Hmm.
you know. But I want to get back to some of these videos. I am so gracious to have you over here. Hit me up, Chanel, on Terry Whitfield Facebook. Me and
Yes,
you,
sir.
I want to do some work with you, sister. You're a great, 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 great sister.
Thank you. And I love your work. And I'm definitely going to send you my video, that Body Count Matters video. I think you will probably enjoy it. It's brief.
Yes.
It's only like 5 or 6 minutes, but
I
it's a
would
good
like
video.
to. I would like to put it in this marathon if I could. I have a couple
Okay.
more videos, so we have at least. I'm sure we'll have about 30 minutes to an hour more for you can find
Hmm.
the videos. I want to end the video with this video with your video.
Okay. Okay. I'll get it right now.
Right. We ain't got to do too much talking about the issue because these videos is going to address the issue.
Right. Okay. Sure thing.
Peace and blessings. If you could stay on, you could. If you have to go or whatnot, it is what it is. But we're about to get back to this segment. Please send that video. You are. I like to thank Tazakia bin Israel for donating last month. Man, that brother came through real nice. For any other donations, we're looking at Cash App, the $ Yasha bin Yisrael, capital YASHA, capital B, lowercase EN, capital Y, lowercase ISHRAEL. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Mostly hit that subscribe button because we're trying to get the subscriptions all the way up, y'all. That being the case, we're about to enter into this new video, this old video that I made called Microchimerism. And I felt the need to rehash this information, at least the information that I had made that gotten through safely. I'm going to rehash that. Thank you, Queen Virtue. Love you, sister. We're going to, me and Queen, oh, y'all in trouble now. Y'all in trouble now. Let me hurry up and get back to this. Allow me to share my screen.
Facebook. What up, though? Y'all all right? That's good. Well, y'all know I'm out here doing what I do best. Sitting out here outside the job, getting ready to go to work. Oh, yes. Still token. Still smoking token herbs. Yeah. Allows my mind to relax. It gives me anchorage. I want to talk about something. I want to talk about this microchimerism and why it's a bad thing for women to have multiple sex partners. But before I get started, I want to make it clear that inside of godliness, and godliness is contained within the three religions of Abraham: Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Islam, Christianity, Judaism. So, inside of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, for thousands of years, it has been considered a sin to have sex before marriage. That is any time before marriage. The females in this Western heathen society has the propensity to believe that before you get married, you can have sex with anybody. And then you have sex with your husband as the last one. The truth of the matter is that your husband should be the first and only one. Inside of Judaism, a woman
who has had sex before she got married is a woman who is not fit for marriage. I repeat, a woman who has had sex before marriage is not fit for marriage on the planet. And it's like that as well as Christianity too. For Jesus' laws concerning marriage, sex, and divorce are very strict laws. And his laws were actually stricter than Moses. If you don't believe me, you can read Matthew, the 5th chapter, I believe somewhere around the 18th and the 20th verse. Well, Jesus Christ, what he talked about, excuse me, move away, I need some privacy. Well, Jesus Christ, he talked about that if a woman had a divorce, you was not to sleep with her as a man. You was not to take her because that woman still belongs to that first man. And that if you was to sleep with a divorced woman, this is what Jesus said. If you was to sleep with a divorced woman, you commit adultery and you cause that woman to commit adultery. Because you did not take that woman's virginity and that woman does not belong to you. Now, when I was in Christianity, I was always told something that I don't hear that much anymore. But as a youngin' growing up in the Christian church, I recall preachers preaching and talked about the sanctification of marriage. And I've heard preachers all throughout my youth talk about that when a woman sleeps with a man, any man and every man she sleeps with, she houses and holds the spirit of that man. What I've come to learn is that there is a fragment of truth to that. But the problem is that it's not the spirit of the man that she contains, because the word spirit is misleading. It would lead you to believe that it is something that can come and go at will, like spirits do. Whether you think a spirit is a non-corporeal entity, whether you think a spirit is the air, the wind, or to breathe, whether you believe that a spirit is some type of malevolent, invisible being, these ideas are misleading because all of them have the ability to come and go as they please. What is really taking place is that the woman not holds the spirit of these men, she holds the actual DNA of these men. And every man that has had sexual encounters with this woman without condoms has their DNA implanted inside of this woman, especially if he has gotten that woman pregnant. Many of our sisters out here before marriage has gotten pregnant, had all kinds of abortions, and you would never know the traces of her past. Just like the book of Proverbs, the 30th chapter stated. It talked about how a bird can fly through the sky, but when that bird is gone, there's no evidence that that bird has flew through the sky. A snake slither over a rock, and there's no evidence that that snake has ever crossed that rock's path once the snake is gone. It talk about a ship in the wakes of the seas and how it causes these waves as the ship goes by. But as the ship is gone, there's no more waves and there's no evidence that the ship has left any track that it has been anywhere on that ocean. Then it says, so or likewise as the whorish
fornicating, adulterous woman. For the man will do what he do with the woman, and when it's all over with, you have no clue that she's been with that man unless that man has impregnated her. You can't look at the woman unless the man was there and you caught him in the act to tell that this woman is a whorish woman, because she leaves no traces. There is no evidence that this man has been there. No visual evidence, that is. But when you get inside and do genetic testing, you will find that the DNA of every man that she has slept with is within her. And this is the reason why women act ratchet. This is the reason why women act solipsistic. This is the reason why women act evil and mean and godless and very self-absorbent beings. This is the reason why you got that ghetto talking ass woman that runs her mouth, that talks too much. This is the reason why you got that I bust your windows out your car. This is the reason why you got that woman that likes to argue and go back and forth with men. This is the reason why women contains a lots of masculine characteristics. Number one being the idea that they feel the need to sleep with or reproduce by any and everybody that she choose. God only chose for one. And if he died, maybe another. There's no record that suggests that she should have more and more after that. For when Jesus Christ was questioned by the woman who had 7 husbands, which one would she be with in the resurrection? Jesus Christ didn't give her an answer. He told her that she don't understand godly things, because there's no record after the second man. She is to be let go after the second man and to live her life as a single woman. That's what the scripture suggests. Nothing else. It doesn't suggest that she can keep getting a divorce, going from man to man to man to man to man to man to man. This combativeness, this hatred, and this evil towards men that these women are doing, it is a direct sign that that woman has more bodies under her than the graveyard. So when she lied to you and tell you she only slept with 5 or 3 or 10 or 20 men, you can tell by her attitude and her nastiness and her ability to detach herself from you how many men she had. That is the indicator. She think that it is cool to walk around here with that nasty, sassy attitude, that Shanae shit, or what's that ratchet ass chick that was in on Friday, that this women like that got many bodies up under them, for they have been microchimerized. And the misleading part about what the Christian ministers have said about how she contained the spirit of all the men she slept with, the word spirit, haruach, in this case can be a little bit misleading when you see it as what the Christians define the spirit is. The spirit is the actual life force, to be quite honest with you, and which is the breath of life, and when it's gone, it's over. But to use the word spirit is misleading, because it gives you the idea that these male characteristics in her can come and go. And that's not the case. Those things stay there, because what has happened is that this man's DNA has been placed inside of her. And that man, and that man, and that man. And what you have going on is a genetic masculine battle royal inside of her. This is the reason why she have her emotional roller coasters. 1 minute she crazy, glad to see you, and the next minute she won't even answer the fucking phone. Okay? Michael Kimmerism.
Michael Kimmerism causes a woman to break up with a man. It causes a woman to desire other men. Because she has experienced other men, she will want to desire other men. There's married women that I know that talks to me, and these women are married to men that I know more about them than they motherfucking husbands do. There's women that I know how much money they got in the bank, and their husband don't think they even got another bank account. I'm talking about 15, 20 motherfucking $1,000 that this woman have saved up while she was married, and her husband don't even fucking know it. I know women who have lied to men about they fucking I know women that have lied to men that have had kids and brought other kids into that marriage, and have lied to men and told them lies about these men's fucking these kids' fathers and shit. You know, that this guy here is the father. This one man is the father of all my children. When this motherfucker got 5 different motherfucking kids by 3 different men, or 4 different men, or 5 different men. This is what they do. Okay, lie. Okay, any man who think that it is a holy or sacred thing to marry a woman that has had multiple sex partners is an ungodly fool. Let me tell you something, man. These women who have experienced other men desire other men. And while she laying up in your motherfucking bed, she's calling men like me when you sleep. You dig what I'm saying? The minute you leave out that motherfucking door, if you stay in the bathroom too motherfucking long, they calling or thinking about men like me. In your house, I know more information about your wife. I know more about her life. I know her better than you do. I know more about your girlfriend. Because truth of the matter is, these women don't belong to you. They belong to the first man that they ever slept with, which was not me nor you. But I know these things because I'm more alpha than you. Women don't play fucking games with me. They tell me the truth. And by me knowing the truth, I don't play these fucking games with them. You dig? They respect me to tell me the truth. Now, is it respected of her that she think of another man in your presence, in your house, in your bed? Is it respected of her that another man know her inwardmost secrets and you don't? I've been knowing them before I met you. I've been knowing them before she met you. That's what I meant to say. Several women, you hear what I'm saying, of my past, because my women was my friends, and they told me every fucking thing. They never, women that cheated on me told me they cheated on me. You see, they never hear shit from me. You see, that's the type of guy I am. Women tell me everything. Women have taught me about their nature. And in doing that, I am here to tell you that if a woman is not a virgin, she is not fit for marriage. The only marriage that she is fit for is the marriage under the authority of the heathen in his heathen ass society. And this is the reason why over 50% of all marriages end in divorce, and the reason why over 70% of all divorces are filed by the woman. It's the alpha bucks.
Excuse me, it's the beta bucks, alpha fucks. These women to get with you niggas. They looking for the money. You dig? They looking for the man with the bag, or the man that's simped enough to secure himself overboard for her. And he gonna be the one taking care of her while she's desiring, about to go motherfucking crazy because she can't get to that alpha male. Black men especially need to wake up, because when we looking at the marriage statistics, the black woman has the lowest marriage rate and the highest divorce rate on the fucking planet. The African American woman. Not necessarily the black woman, but the African American one. And that's because her marriages are not authorized by God. She hates that scripture that talks about if a man asks his woman for her virgin evidence, or evidence of her virginity, the tokens of her virginity, that she must produce them. And if she don't produce them, and her family can't produce them, that she's to be taken to the elders or the priest and to be stoned and killed. That scripture lets you know right then and there that a woman is fucked up when she is married and she's not a virgin. Especially if it's not to the man who took her virginity. Women that have 2, 3, 4 body counts under them or more are not fit to be married. And any man that thinks she does and do so is a very, very weak man, a man who's weak in his masculinity. For he let the woman seduce him, mislead him into believing that she is wife, when in all actuality, she's everything other than. I'm out of here, y'all. So when y'all see that woman with that nasty ass attitude, with her hands on her hips and bobblehead and all that arguing and combative and disrespectful towards man, just know that Mo fallacies has been in her. Man, quit marrying these. God said, remember me in the days of thy youth. And they failed to do that. I'm out of here. Shalom. What's up, Zaki and Yasharala? Peace, my brother. Thank you for watching. I'm out.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we had the Queen of Virtue fall through tonight, and I'm going to end this segment. I have more. I have a few more, but I think that I'm going to save them for further content. Later content, more content. But in doing that, I want to end this segment with a very encouraging video for me, because while all the men turn simp and white knight, you best believe there's a queen of virtue for God's holy men. And I'm here to tell y'all, just keep the faith, black man, and do what the Lord says do. I'm going to share my screen and end this segment with this powerful video. Go over to the Queen of Virtue page and check out her videos. You heard her. Now, she said she got to go look at it. She said it had a high video count. It probably more than the original. That shows y'all that the YouTube is playing with my page. Is she up, y'all? All right. And I'll hold my peace forever on this video. End us out, Queen of Virtue.
Shalom, ladies. Thank you for tuning in to Far Above Rubies. Today we're going to talk about how. Thank you for tuning in to Far Above Rubies. Today we're going to talk about how many partners is too many. A lot of us would like to think that, that no matter how many men we sleep with, and able to connect with our husband. But the truth is, body counts do matter. The more we have sex or the more partners we have, we eventually start to get, I guess, used to it or desensitized to it. And the experience is no longer a special experience. The connection that we have with our partner is no longer a special type of connection. The connection is not even pure or healthy. You know, that's how we get what
Wow.
we call soul ties. We all
Wow.
know women who had multiple partners in their past, whether they're
Stop her. I don't mean to stop her, y'all. She said that our sexual practices is neither no longer pure or healthy. I digress. Let me let the sister just end the show out.
considered as promiscuous or not, but they still have these soul ties with as many women as possible. And walk away from it without, you know, being affected a certain threshold. She is going to have a harder time connecting, falling in love, staying in love. Women are liberated and pretty much sleeping with as many men as they can. But the truth is, need to grow and become better women we can do those things or finally do not any of your ability, please stay a virgin until you are a married woman and enjoy your sex life with your husband. Learn everything you need to learn about because it's private. No one knows about your body or what you look like or what you feel like. Um, all of this stuff that men can say about the rest of us who are not virgins, that they've seen us naked before, that they know what we feel like or whatever. No one will gift to give him. So, to the best of your ability, please
Whoa!
give that to your husband. Hopefully, this video was helpful for you. If so, please like, share, and subscribe to Far Above Rubies. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.
That is Black Rab 313, the Queen of Virtue, and Yasha Hamalaki Ben Yisrael, also known as Terry Whitfield. That's 3 Israelites just laying down the law. And as long as we act or refuse to understand this, we're going to have problems in our bodies, in our minds, in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our states, in our country, and ultimately, like I said, throughout the world. For Israel is to be a light and a beacon unto the world. And you've heard the truth from 3 Israelites. While you got those over there on HOK and all of those other platforms talking about the degradation of what they misinterpret from our God, you want to know what the truth says? You want to know where the virtuous women at? Where the strong men are at? Over here to the Yasha Ben Israel Israelite channel. Also support the Zodoc Research Team channel. That's a new channel that we have up and on the air. Hit that like, hit that share. Also subscribe. Love y'all. We out here.